大家早上好。Good morning, everyone. Okay. 这个觉得我这个大致上应该可能介绍一下观世音菩萨吧，可能比较方便一点。这个本身这个字观世音菩萨当然在梵文我们叫 Avalokitesvara。那么这个含义呢，当然有几个含义，有两个含义。一个含义的意思说，简单的讲就是一个就是 Avalokitesvara， 简单讲就是说，一个在从上空或者在天空上看下来的一个人或者是一个圣者那一般来讲呢，这个叫做观世音当然我们中文有翻译有另外一个意思，为什么中文会把它翻成观自在呢？也有它的因缘的，因为这个梵文字呢，也可以把它 Avalokitesvara 就是这个字 Avalokitesvara 呢，从字根来看呢，也可以了解为就 Avalokitesvara， 简单讲就是一个就是在这个世界里面很自在的人，所以叫观世音如果从梵文的看So I just like to introduce what the Avalokitesvara means. It can be translated in the two ways. One way means someone look upon from the heavens, and then the second translation would be someone really free in the world, okay, in the whole universe. 那所以当然，如果大家对这个心经很了解比如说一开始翻译的时候说这个观自在菩萨行深般若波罗蜜多时那么简单讲就是说，当观世音菩萨呢在这个修持的这个般若的时候呢，那么就照见五蕴皆空这边我大概讲一讲，这当然就说到简单讲就是观世音菩萨呢本身呢在修持的里面呢也是要去观照这个五蕴的那么什么叫观照呢？这里这个如果是从梵文的字来讲就 Bhashya 的意思是说，在观世音菩萨在修行的时候呢，在修这个在修这个般若的时候呢，在修这个智慧的时候呢，他还是一样去观照这个五蕴。但是有一个不一样的强调点，就是观照五蕴，不管从大乘佛教来看，或者从所谓的一般我不喜欢叫小乘，就叫声闻乘的佛教来看，观照五蕴都是一样的，只是有个强调点不一样。强调点不一样，就是说在观照这个色也好，色身也好。不管是内身的色身、外人的色身也好，观照我们的这个受，就是我们的感受也好，我们个人的感受也好，或者外在的感受也好，别人的感受也好，或者是观受这个我们所谓的这个想，就是说每一个的认知，那么这个内在的认知也好，或者外在的认知也好，或者观受或者观想这个观照这个所谓行运，就是说每一个思想的每一个念头的这个转变。每一个念头的转变，或者每一个念头的这个过程，那么不管是内的或者是外的，那么甚至是观照这个认知，每一个的 consciousness、cognitive 或 cognize， 我内的外的，这样的话呢，但是在这边主要是在强调说，当然因为观世音菩萨他在修的时候不是一般的这个修行了，已经可以修行在五蕴观照的过程里面呢，都是可以观到它是简单讲就是缘起缘灭的，所以呢。就可以了解到它的空性了。这个我不需要解释太多，这边只是最主要说明说所以从般若经来看呢，当我们谈到这个修持的方法的时候呢，当然也提到了观世音菩萨。那其实因为大家也知道般若经就是所谓这个心经呢，是从一个般若经里面呢这一个总和，就基本上如果一般人没有时间去了解这个般若经的话，有这么多的般若经的话。那么心经呢，实际上把般若经把主要的这个般若的这个修持法门呢，给它很重点的把它结合在一个心经里面。这就是为什么在汉系佛教里面呢，常常要诵一个心经的一个主要原因。I like to also say that, especially in the Chinese tradition, actually not even in Chinese, even in Tibetan tradition also, there's one of the Buddhist texts which has always been recited by basically for almost in all occasion. So even later when we are going to, I think the other side of the place that in front of the Amitabha Buddha, we even have to recite the same thing. That is what we call the Heart Sutra. But from the start of the Heart Sutra, it mentioned about there was, or you could say there is Avalokitesvara, I mean the Guan Yin, that's whom we're going to celebrate with. So also when he practiced this, the wisdom, he started to actually observe the five aggregates, where observe the five aggregate as the emptiness. Okay, but I'm not going to explain the whole teachings now. Of course, we don't have time to explain the whole teachings. But this is just want to show that. So it from the practical aspect, it is very clear that the Avalokitesvara has the also have to follow whenever anyone like Avalokitesvara. So whenever he want to practice the Buddhism, so that's the same thing as Avalokitesvara. We will have to follow the system like what like Heart Sutra mentions about. Okay. 那么除了这个之外，当然这一个呢，讲到修行的内容呢，可能就是说我们经上谈到观世音菩萨的一部分了。那另外第二个部分，我们谈到观世音菩萨的时候，当然也有很有名的，从那个楞严经来看，就是我们所谓的这个耳通圆融，好这样的另外一个修持法门。The second actually the practice technique, I mean, highly mentioned in the Buddhist text about the Avalokitesvara, is that he used the ear, basically he used the ear to practice Buddhism as the as a man's organ. Use the man's organ. They use the ear as a man organ to practice Buddhism. I know this is very hard for some of you. 但是呢，无论如何呢，但是观世音菩萨当然对一般的信众来讲呢，主要还是就是说，当然就还有就是对观世音菩萨的了解，就是因为就是千处祈求千处应嘛，就是说对观世音菩萨的了解，就是当我们在祈求观世音的时候呢，我们都可以得到观世音菩萨的这个照顾。这就是刚才我回到第一个，实际上这就是本身 Avalokitesvara 这个字就是本来它有一个意思就是说在上空看下来的意思，好的一个圣者。那么这第一个意思，虽然这个中文没有这样的翻译因为中文的翻译一般都翻观世音或者是观自在当然从我们的翻译的角度来看，翻成观世音是有一点从原文的字来讲不能理解它为什么，只能理解从意义上，可能是因为受到这个楞严经的影响，所以听闻这个音声而得到而来这个救度众生。好了，除了这个之外呢，我觉得观世音菩萨当然从补门品的角度来看，除了在修行有修行的这个意义呢，讲到观世音菩萨的修持方法，也当然也讲到观世音菩萨的这个大慈大悲那么在这个大慈大悲里面呢，也点出了这个观世音菩萨本身呢，他这个我比较喜欢的一个了解就是观世音菩萨在任何的时候，不管一个人在苦难的时候，在有庆典的时候，在很快乐的时候，或者在任何的这样的一个时候呢，就是有这样的一个理解，说观世音菩萨都是化身在你的旁边那么我觉得这样子的一个理解呢，当然你可以说观世音菩萨真的就化身在旁边，这个在很多以前尤其在汉系中国里面，就是有很多这种这个叫事者，或者这个我们叫做一种神奇的一种事迹但是呢，另外一个就是一个理解的方式就是说实际上我们可以把一切的众生呢就看成像观世音菩萨一样，就是一旦他在你很高兴的时候为你庆祝那当你在很忧伤的时候，他为你安慰你在你有什么庆典的时候，他会有各方面的这个为你庆祝。所以我们就有这个观世音千手千眼观世音里面拿着不同的这种武器，或者拿着有书有武器有这个宝盖有伞盖这些有庆祝的，都来就是说明这个观世音菩萨呢，可以在任何的这个节庆的时候呢，或者在任何的好事跟坏事的时候，它都会显现在你旁边。所以你可以把一切众生呢，都看成像观世音菩萨一样。这里面当然一个最重要的在修持上的含义里面，就说明了实际上我们每个人呢， 其实如果单一人就可以把人家看成每个都像观世音菩萨的时候呢，其实我们的慈悲呢，也就是这样也是这样的显映，也是会这样显现出来啊。I like to also just to briefly introduce that Avalokitesvara also, even though in the Chinese tradition or even in Tibetan tradition or actually in a lot of Buddhist tradition, is one of the very famous figure, almost serve it as a goddess in the world. Whenever you pray for the Guan Yin, so the Guan Yin will answer your prayer. So that's one of the very important feature actually for especially as far as I know as a Chinese, that's a very popular. Even when before, I mean even in my home also, we started actually the statue at home was not the Buddha statue, but not like in America. In America mostly when you start to have a statue, maybe you have the Buddha statue. But like in China or in Chinese, like my parents too, when we started to have worship a statue, actually we start with the Avalokitesvara, I mean the Guan Yin statue. Because it's so popular, it's so widespread, it's almost like in the Catholic, the Santa Maria. So that's almost like it always answer your prayer. So that's one of the symbolic figure of the Avalokitesvara. Another symbolic figure actually, it shows that later when you read the Buddhist text, the one of the texts which about the Avalokitesvara says that during any kind of ceremony, any kind of difficulties around, so when you see the people helping you, where people are celebrating you when you are in success, so these people, you could regard them as Avalokitesvara, because Avalokitesvara will transform his body with that kind of form that to celebrate, when you're in success, or somebody will helping you. So if you can regard them as everyone, who are helping you, who are beside you, who are stand by you, as Avalokitesvara, so you actually are practicing or you develop this so-called great compassion and great loving kindness. This is the symbolic figures of Avalokitesvara. 最后我觉得要讲的就是，因为今天是观世音菩萨成道了哈，当然我也希望我不能说希望，我是对奖金基本来讲没有很大兴趣，但是呢，我也希望说大家应该除了我们在这个庆祝这个观世音菩萨，因为我觉得我们不只是为我们自己来送这个观世音菩萨补门品了，我们也应该为这个世界这个世界和平，为自己的家庭啊，为自己的亲朋戚友啊，还有为这个世界和平呢，来送这个观世音菩萨品呢，回向给这个世界让我们的世界更和平，世界更祥和，还有我们大家更和睦的相处。我觉得这是我们今天来诵经应该最重要的意义。So the last thing I like to say actually is that the why we have come for this chanting also, and why this ceremony has been taken place even in monastery, especially here. Even though in Jongyang Monastery, when the ceremony is taken place, we have at least 200 people would join, but here we have less people. But still, we are doing the chanting because this is not just we don't mind about how many people be here, but it's important when we have the heart to chant in this day. Through this chanting, and then we wish the Avalokitesvara, and of course, with our sincere hope to wish ourselves to be better, and also our family and relatives to be better, and most important is the society and the world be peaceful and people will live together harmony. That's the main thing that why we are here. I wish that everyone could just chant delicately and then to dedicate and pray to the Avalokitesvara and wish that will be peaceful. All right, thank you so much. 好，谢谢。
那我们大众请起立。